Hello, you may call me Artemis. I am the leader of this vast channel, what soon will be vast. Today is my first episode. I am talking about one of the most speculated things in sci-fi history, according to me, Doctor Who's name. I am going to spoil the secrets of the infamous Doctor's name. Yes, you heard me right. My inference is very sought out and very researched. His name is speculated to be Thea Sigma, but that is only a nickname given to him by his school on Gallifrey as a child. His real name is a very complicated equation, but it can be translated into English. And Gallifreyan is a very complicated name, very complicated language. His name would be very complicated, you'd think. But the only way you could say his name is with a TARDIS. If you say the Doctor, you're basically saying his name, but you're not saying it in Gallifreyan, would be his regular name. If you think about his regular name, it would be in Gallifreyan. Now, think about this. Everyone knows the Doctor speaks Gallifreyan, because he's from Gallifrey. But did you know that he speaks it all the time? That's right, because of the TARDIS translator. It translates everyone's words. There could be one person in Chinese, one person speaking in Japanese, and another person speaking in English, and the Doctor speaking in Gallifreyan. It would all work perfectly. The problem is the Doctor has two brains, and sometimes the Doctor thinks differently than us. And as the TARDIS translates stuff, he actually can interpret what the language is, as we see in the TV show several times. He can interpret what a language is, meaning that he can hear whatever the language is, even though his mind instantly understands it. Meaning that the TARDIS doesn't actually translate it for him. It simply makes it understandable for him, even though it translates it for everyone else. But because the Gallifreyans are so sophisticated and have so much technology, Gallifreyan is probably so hard to actually understand that it is literally almost impossible and extremely improbable for a human to understand it. Meaning that the Gallifreyan name we see from him, which is a very complicated math equation, is probably his name, but the reason he doesn't like to give it to anyone is simply because he doesn't see it as right, because he's hearing it in another language and that doesn't suit him. He can only hear it in Gallifreyan to like it, is what I've figured out. And that's it, folks. His name is that scientific equation. One of the parts is Thea Sigma. Two of the parts, Thea Sigma. Honestly, if you think about it, his name is just a nickname, because Sigma is actually a part of the equation of his. He was gifted that nickname as a young child. Now, his name is a scientific equation, but everyone would call him Thea Sigma, or the Doctor. The Doctor, just because of his oath, but because of what doctors are nowadays, everyone's like, you can't just be the Doctor, you have to have an actual name. And he thinks that that is the original title. He created that. So he should be able to just say he is the Doctor, or she is the Proctor, depending on what version. Mostly he. We are going with he right now instead of they, because I'm talking mostly about the first Doctor. I would usually consider the Doctor's pronouns they, because there is a female one now. But even though they are one person, there are multiple people in there, and multiple bodies. And so, I am only talking about the first Doctor, mostly. Most of this revolves around the first Doctor. And his name is that equation. just translated from Gallifreyan doesn't suit him because of his two brains. And that is the reason the doctor says it is impronounceable to humans. It's because it's not impronounceable to humans, but it is impronounceable to humans in Gallifreyan. And that is the problem. Because he understands all languages, but that doesn't mean he doesn't hear all languages. I hope that made sense. Thank you for your time. This is Artemis, bidding all farewell.